Hi guys, thank you for joining me today. So the purpose of me doing these videos is to actually interact with folks and help talk through, work through any situations that's going on in your life. And I would do that by you posting questions, situations, whatever, in the comments, and then I would respond in video. Well, since I'm not getting questions because I'm just starting out here, people don't even know about this channel, I just asked my wife what question would she have about therapy. And she said, quick as can be, lying to your therapist. And I just had to laugh because that's a thing. I mean, let me back up. So when you come to therapy, I'm only going to go off of what you tell me. You know, your experiences, your perceptions of what's going on. If you had a blowout with your boss, you're going to replay that scenario with me, and I'm going to go with your view on the scenario. So I think kind of as a general rule, we want to believe that our patients are telling us the truth about what's going on. There is a field, a subset of mental health, mainly forensic psychologists, that their goal is to poke holes in your story, look for the inconsistencies, look for the lying, and really dig into just the facts of the situation. That's their job. Usually the forensic evaluation is for the court system, probation, court-ordered alcohol treatment, custody evaluations, those things where it's basically to get to the truth and things, and that truth may not necessarily come from the patient. So that's a whole different category there. But in any case, you come into therapy and you're not telling the truth. Do I have to say how that's going to be a problem? I mean, I just for example, I was working with a guy who was coming in and telling me life was great, and he was on top of the world, and things were falling into place for him. Things were looking up, and then he goes and kills himself. I mean, another person I was working with, we're working on improving communication with his significant other, and he was telling me he's doing some of the things that we're talking about. He's seeing progress, all this stuff, but he never did tell me that there was some abuse going on there. So I was only getting half the picture, I guess. So I don't know why. I mean, we can guess why people would not be totally forthcoming with their therapist. I mean, there is a level of trust. There is a level of how is this information going to be used. There's also another level of maybe shame, or I'm too proudful to talk about these things, and so I'm going to hold back some. I mean, I get it, but going back to my previous videos, we're trying to get you feeling better as quick as possible, I suppose, and we don't want to waste your time. You're paying money to see a therapist, so that's a lot. Um, that's something that could affect a person is spending all this money, and we're not getting traction in therapy because there's only half the story being told. So, so with that being said, yeah, I mean it's a valuable thing. If you want the best treatment and the best approach to your situation, we want you to be honest in session with us. On another front, there, a lot of times a therapist can tell when you're not being totally honest. Um, you know, yeah, maybe you might be able to manipulate the therapist a little bit, give them your side of the story and paint it all up as you did everything right in this situation and it was just totally the other person's fault. But there are times when we can see through that, and then now that's kind of an interfering behavior in therapy. Now the focus turns off of actually helping you in your situation and more to what's going on here in this room that we're not being honest here. And so now that becomes the focus, not the issue you're talking about, but the way you're talking about it and not being honest. And so now that becomes the whole issue. And then if you're kind of caught in a lie or whatever, probably you wouldn't want to go back because now you feel embarrassed and all this stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, going back to why you want to be in therapy in the first place, your motivations, you're ready to change, you're ready to be honest. I guess that's, honest with yourself, honest with what you're going to tell the therapist, and that's only hurting you if you're not. So just thought I'd throw that out there. That was a good point my wife made because we see it a lot. It's funny too, if you live in a small town, you're probably going to run into your therapist out and about in the community. They're probably going to see you, I can't tell you how many times a patient, would say, yeah, I'm doing good, I'm not drinking, walking the straight and narrow, staying out of those bars. And then I see their name in the newspaper, DUI. Or, small town, you start to know the crowd that the people hang with. You start to hear things out in the community. I mean, it's just it's fascinating how you can hear things just in a small town. Or, here's a big one, and this is mainly for small town. You're coming in to see your therapist, but then lo and behold, your cousin comes in to see the same therapist, and I wouldn't necessarily know the connection between the two of you, but you start hearing a similar story from this other person, and now you're getting two sides of a story. And one, as a therapist, we might have to say, wait up, there's too many relationships here. I might not be able to see one of those people. But that is a common thing in small towns. So yeah, bottom line is word does get around. You have a community outing, the local fair, and again, patients telling you, no, I haven't touched a drink in a year. And you go to the fair and there they are, big old beer in their hand or something like that. And so anyway, it could happen. I just hope for you that when you're ready to go and invest that time in counseling, that you would just be honest with what's going on, and that'll help you and the therapist work through things in a more efficient manner, so that the therapist isn't trying to put the pieces together and, well, they're probably not telling me the truth here. It might be this that's going on. Now you got the therapist thinking, trying to put everything together because they figured out that you're not being totally honest about the thing, and that's just a distracting, interfering thing there. So again, if you're gonna go, be honest. Alrighty, thank you very much.